Well, what is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with Tactical Gaming, bringing you guys an Armored Core 6 review video. Now, I have gone, played, and beat the story, at least, the first way through. I am now, I believe, in New Game Plus, because it has started me off. Well, not, I did the other two story missions, or yeah, the other one or other two yesterday after I beat the actual game. But I basically helped Ari. I think that's how you say it. Ari, whatever. The little voice in your head, the sexy voice chick, helped her out. So there are multiple different actual things, endings. So I chose that one. I helped the Rubiconians, I guess you could say. So, yep. Story was good. End bosses were pretty good. I was not surprised to find out that there was a certain end boss that, hey, ended up happening. But as you can see, so here, these are like chapter 1 story missions, right? Boom. Final chapter and everything else, bring down the Xylem. So, gone and beat the game. So, I'm going to be going around, getting all these done, S ranked and everything here soon, and actually just done straight up. But yeah, so far, good game. Anyone can sit there and say, oh, it's overrated, oh, it's too hard. In all honesty, through, I would say, the first 3 chapters are gonna feel pretty difficult. Like, first 2 chapters, once you get a hold of like how the mechanics of the game work, it gets easier. And then do one thing I highly suggest, which is buy everything. I do mean everything. Don't sell anything. Don't do any of that stuff. Literally start buying absolutely everything. And there are specific certain weapons that are very, very good. Just superly unfair. Unfair, like, weapons to use in this game that would be considered, boss destroyer style weapons. And I will show you those weapons. But what I'm showing you right now, straight out the gate, would be like the boss actual, mech that you get. Once you beat him and end the story and everything else, you actually get the entirety of his suit, which is pretty awesome. And I tested it out. Very awesome, actually. It's a very good fucking mech. I love it. But, yeah, that's Dino Bite right there. That's his name. I've gone and already filled up everything when it comes to my ACs. So, this one, full. Like, look at this. Already full. 40 out of 40. Dino Bite, very first one. And what he has on is that little automatic little laser thing that follows you around. The lasers that pop out and go after an enemy and will shoot him from every other angle. Then bam, 2 little mini automatic fucking rifles. Nice. Great build. But so one of the end bosses on the Xylem, at least on one of the missions, would be a good loadout right here. But actually, this one right here is the one that beat him, surprisingly enough. Ooh. Sorry about that. But 2 plasma cannons on the back, laser rifle. So this is a boss killer, at least the one I went against, which was very interesting. This one I created to go against said boss, but this one actually was the one that won out. So I was like, fuck it, whatever, that works. But yeah, like, this is a good game. The story was really good. I haven't gone through with New Game Plus all the way through yet, but in all honesty, the missions I did so far already, the 1 or 2 that I did, weren't that bad, especially with the fact that I have access to all my mechs that I have specifically created and just, had fun with making. I was like, fuck it. Honestly, it makes it a lot easier. And the game does get easier once you start getting certain kind of weapons and everything else. Start getting all the generators and FCSs and boosters and whatnot, which, in all honesty, I highly suggest getting almost any and all generators, because generators are fucking handy. Because with the generators, it allows you to make multiple different builds, and there'll be like certain kind of builds that you'll make to where it's like certain generators would be like the perfect one, because it will give you either the right amount, because like in all honesty, you don't need a generator like right now with with the way that one's looking, right? That's way more than enough EN load than what he already needs. So you can meet something that like kind of closes up to the current load and current EN load, and that would give you more boost speed. So playing the game, you kind of do learn certain aspects and everything else when it comes to like what would be a really good combo. So literally when it comes to tips and tricks of this game, especially if you have not decided on getting the game, one, story, great. Fighting the bosses, not that bad, especially if you actually choose to cheese them. It's not that bad, and then if you really feel inclined to actually go in and give them a fair fight or whatever else, go in with a different build after you beat him and gone through and beat the game. So, hey, it's whatever. But do note that it is fun as shit to just sit there and cheese the bosses. I do it all the time, any chance I get. But dual Gatling cannons or Gatling guns, really good. That will cheese the shit out of a boss, especially if you have dual laser or plasma cannons, and or dual canaries. I think that's what they're called. It's the ones, the dual grenade launchers. That's fucking that is just me. Love it. Great combination with almost anything, especially when it comes to stagger damage and all that. Stagger is important in this game. Always remember that. But I have not tried one thing in this, and that is Nest. Now, you get this after you've gotten past Chapter 2, and I believe into Chapter 3. Once you get into Chapter 3, or beat Chapter 3, that's when you get into Nest, and you can actually start going in and doing the PvP aspect, whether it be 1v1 or 3v3. So that's when you actually unlock the PvP. So if you're curious on when unlocking PvP happens, do note that's what it will be. It will be roughly around Chapter 3, end of Chapter 3. It's going to be around there. Chapter 4 starts. Chapter 4 gives you quite a bit of missions to do. And then you beat out the last couple bosses and everything else. There'll be several little mini bosses and or bosses that you fight that don't seem like they're bosses. At least to me, it didn't seem that way, because they were pretty easy. But that was mainly because I literally sat there for time and did certain missions over and over again. Got me some money, bought parts, made bots, made certain different combinations and mixes in here and there between weapons and loadouts and all that, fighting the right ones. To the point to where it made fighting said bosses easier, or doing said missions easier. So even though the game is pretty difficult, kind of like how most from software games are, if you find the right loadout for you and it's maneuvers just right for you, the game can be very easy. So in all honesty, with a lot of people saying that this game isn't a game that like a casual player could pick up and play, no, because in all honesty, I'm a pretty casual player. I don't play video games as much or as long as I used to. Like every so often, I'll pick up a game for like maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. Like this game definitely brought out a hell of a lot more, because it was an itch I needed to scratch for the longest time, because I haven't played any Armored Core or mech style like game in a long time since Transformers, really. Transformers War for Cybertron was the last one, and ever since they got rid of the PvP aspect, such as they got rid of the servers, I haven't really played a mech game in a long time. So when this came out, I was like, yes. And in all honesty, I am so happy that they did it, and I can't wait to actually do the PvP. I will be doing videos for that, so keep an eye out for that. That PvP is gonna be going on, whether it be 1v1 or 3v3. I'll be doing a mixture of those, but it's gonna be buttloads of fun that I plan on having with this game, and I hope they keep on to it. And in all honesty, with the one ending I saw, at least the one ending. Now, I can't say this about the other one or other two or however many there are, because I don't know how many there are. I'm went in this pretty blind, because I want to actually have all the aspects of the game like new and fresh to me, because that's how it is for me. I like doing that with games, especially story. Now, with the other ones that I have a good idea that there is, it kind of seems like there might be DLC in the future, and I do mean might. That is a huge might. They're good portion of the not going to do it. They'll just like say, hey, here's your PvP, have at it, have fun. You can do PvP on this game for years and probably never get bored, unless you run out of people to fight against, and then it would probably get bored. But other than that, this is an overall great game. Story, I would give it a good 8 out of 10. Could have been a little bit longer, but other than that, with the fact that the difficulty of the game made it seem like it was a hell of a lot longer, really good. Maybe a little bit more than 5-ish chapters, because I would say it's more of 4 chapters, but I guess technically it is 5. But good game. Story, great. The actual AI to it, fucking phenomenal. It seems like the AI learns the more you fight against it, so keep that in mind. On top of that, the actual, well, I play on my PS5, so I mean it looks good, really, really good on my PS5, and I love it on my PS5. I love it. Now, when it comes to anything else, no idea. Plays great. Really good game. I can't complain about it at all. Like, anyone who complains about it, maybe they either really suck at video games or maybe they just don't like mech games. But overall, this is a good game. And best part is, no bugs. I've had 0 bugs, 0 issues, 0 anything that it comes to like how most games that you play nowadays have. Have had nothing like that at all. And I am loving it. It is a massive, massive good feeling to actually play a game and not worry, oh, am I going to get booted out? Oh, is it going to do something stupid? Oh, no, here's something retarded where I can't continue the story. You know what I mean? No. It literally is a overall good game. Good game. Functionality, I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10. Now, the one thing when it comes to fighting against really fast mechs, you do have to pan around a lot, so keep that in mind. It's not going to keep it like auto track to the point to where like it keeps it there. No. So, and there are times that the camera kind of like hits it at a bad angle, so also keep that in mind. But that literally just comes to learning the game. Once you learn the game with angles and everything, it really isn't too bad. But other than that, I would definitely give this game, overall, I would say 9 out of 10. I would say 9 out of 10. Because if I gave it a 10 out of 10, most people would be like, oh my god, you're just a fanboy. It's like, yeah, it's a 9 out of 10. Because the story was good, felt like it could have been longer. I'm hoping there's DLC to add more into it. Especially like a DLC like how this game was, to where like depending on your choice at the end, or whoever you help at the end, right, will depict on, you know, how the DLC starts and depending on how the DLC ends. So I'm kind of hoping that how all that aspect works. But we shall see if they do DLC. Most people did expect them to do what they did with Elden Ring, and by what I heard, there's supposed to be a DLC for Elden Ring, but I could be wrong. So don't hold me to that. But if they do anything like that for Armored Core, I really do hope to see something that further shows us what's going on with Rubicon, the Coral, Aerie or Irie or whatever her name is, and then everything else. You know what I mean? Because I'm very curious on how everything's going to turn out towards the end. It's very curious. And then one tip here at the end when it comes to fighting bosses is what I've noticed is fighting any and all bosses is either aggro the shit out of them or aggro and be above them, like right on their head, kind of like thing. Especially if they're big tanky bosses, always float above them. So that, or especially if it's the evil ocean one, the ocean crossing boss, that one, just be underneath him and just shoot him with plasma lasers and shit the entire time. That will destroy him. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the game. I legit say, hey, if you're into mech games, definitely get this. If you're a From Software fan, get this game. If you want a functionable game that is fun and hard, once you get good, it's a different story. But hey, fun but hard, get this game. This is a good game, worth the money and everything else. Really is. And in all honesty, like the combos and combinations between like weapons and mech parts and everything else is phenomenal. Like people are making some cool shit. That's the one thing I've been looking at is people making some cool bots. So have at it, have fun. Hope to see you guys out there. Keep an eye out for Ninja Nick 0069 because hey, if you see me, I'll probably be streaming. Probably getting my ass kicked by one of you guys or all of you guys. Maybe I'll be doing some ass kicking too. We shall see. But like, share, subscribe. I hope you all enjoyed this. This was a fun game and try it out. Later, guys.